Good evening, everyone. This is the Rooftop Sports, and hold on a second. I'll wear my hat. I'll switch to my Sonics hat in just a few moments, but we've got the Seattle SuperSonics and the Los Angeles Clippers. And if you are also on the Bring Back Our Sonics Facebook page, which I am also an admin of, thank you very much for being here. Hit that like button and support this Facebook page. I'm just giving everyone a space for any kind of Sonics basketball, whether it's through the real life or the virtual. And of course, we're waiting for the news of expansion, but until then, this is your Sonics basketball. Gonna be Los Angeles Clippers against the Seattle Supersonics. Let me see who is home and who is away. The Sonics are gonna be at home. So now it's time to go back to 1999, and I gotta wear my Sonics hat. And here I am, and we've got again the Clippers, and I gotta skip these games, and I gotta set some practices too. Look at that. I have like no practices scheduled. So let's fix that. I'm gonna give them a day off there. Schedule practice. It's gonna be, yeah, it's gonna be that Tuesday. Gonna have them work on some. You gotta get better on their free throws. I think they should get better with free throws. I do think so. And yeah, what do they got for? They have a day off, so I'm gonna make them work, and then they can have their little Friday night fun or Saturday night fun or whatever they want to have. But I'm gonna make them work. I'll have them rebound. All right, and then it's gonna go to the Clippers. Clippers are 25 and 32, while the Sonics are 19 and 37. No back-to-back games, so they are all going to play. They should be all fresh and ready to go. Let's do this. All right, let's get going on the games. And let's see who's coming on. Got a couple people from Bring Back Our Sonics. Thank you for being here. And I appreciate all of your engagement throughout the Facebook page kind of stuff that I've been posting. All right. It's Jerome James against Michael Olowokandi. And we are underway. Now here's Dennis Rodman. And he not really much open. Here's Jerome James. And he is fouled, and he is going to go to the line. And he makes the free throw, and the Sonics get on the board. And got a like there. Thank you very much. Now here's Eric Piakowski going against Tracy Murray. They're double teaming. And now here's Douglas for the three. He makes it. And the Clippers get themselves on the board, and they take a 3-1 lead. Now here's Jerome James on the pick and roll. No. And it's going to be lost. And here comes Murray, 2-on-1. Here's Eric Piakowski. And now it's going to be 5-1 Seattle, or 5-1 Clippers. And, oh, man, so much lost control. And here's Lewis going for a deep three. He misses it. Not a good start for Seattle. And now here's and the foul, and it's now going to be 7-1 Los Angeles. This is a really, really bad start. Now it is 8-1. Here's Stevens going for a long three. And yep, this is exactly the kind of start that the Sonics fans did not want to see, and the Sonics themselves did not want. And now here is, oh my goodness, an easy layup. We're talking about a 10-0 run. Now here's Rashard Lewis. And he misses again. And what kind of start is this for the Seattle SuperSonics? It's really pathetic how they're playing. Now here's Murray. And Lewis, a really bad timing defense. Now here's Tracy Murray for three. Oh, and Maurice Taylor, the all-star. He does that putback slam, and now it's 12-1 Los Angeles. Not a good start. Now here's Jerome James. And now he's going to try to get it in. And he falls down, and he misses again. Now here's Tracy Murray. And here's Oluwakandi. And rebound Lewis. Now here comes Dennis Rodman. Kind of has an advantage. Here's Jerome James. No, he loses it again. It is 12-1. Absolutely a massacre going on. Really bad start. Now here's Murray. And he makes it himself. And now it's going to be 14-1. Absolutely embarrassing start by Seattle. Here's Stevens for three, and that finally ends the drought. It is now 14-4. Absolutely was an embarrassing start. And now here is Watson with the steal, and he might go actually all the way for the dunk. He misses the layup. He gets his own rebound. And now Stevens for three. No! The crowd was about to explode. You could feel the air. Now here's Piakowski. Now here's Taylor. And he is fouled, and he will go to the line. And he misses the free throw. Stevens tries it again, and he misses. Sonics are just playing mindless basketball. And now here's Piakowski. How did you not defend that, Jerome James? That is your specialty. Now it's a 17-3 run. Now here's Dennis Rodman. He gets his own rebound, but he is fouled. Rodman for three, and he makes it. We got Walt Frazier. Jerome James is the only person I know got hurt in warm-ups trying to jump true facts. Was that when he was with the Knicks, or was that when he was with the Sonics? I'm pretty sure it was the Knicks. And Jerome James had a long injury-riddled career after Seattle with the Knicks, of course. I mean, he really ballooned in weight. Three-pointer by Rashard Lewis. And now they're trying to get themselves right back into it. And timeout's been called by the Clippers as the Sonics, they have now scored 6 points. They're now going on a little 6-0, 6-0 run. Here's Douglas. Now here's Oluwakandi, blocked by James. Nice block by Jerome James. Now here is Rashard Lewis with the alley-oop to Watson. What a nice dunk alley-oop play by Jamie Watson. That's going to get the crowd going, get them screaming. It was a nice defensive play by Seattle by Jerome James. Now here is Taylor. And now here is Douglas, goes for the floater. Here's Oluwakandi, and he makes it, and that's going to silence the crowd. Walt Frazier, was it the 2003-2004 season? Now here's Rashard Lewis, and he's going to make it. Let me look up Jerome James' stats. So it's when he was a Sonic, huh? Jerome James stats. Now here's Jamie Watson. Now here's Tracy Murray. And he misses it completely. Good defense by the Sonics. Now here is Jamie Watson. Tries to get it to Rodman, but he loses it. And now here is Douglas. Blocked by Watson. Now the three-pointer. Oh. Looks like he was probably, I don't know. Oh, backcourt violation. Isn't that great? All right, Jerome James. It was probably in the years between 2001 and 2004. That's all I can think of. 2004, 2005, he played 80 games, so I don't think that could have been it. I really liked Jerome James. He was actually one of my favorite players, especially that 2005 playoff run he had. That was insane. And James with the rebound. Here's Rashard Lewis. Goes for three and misses. By the way, Walt Frazier, to get an idea of what this team is, it's the 98-99 team. Before the season, I traded away Gary Payton. I traded away Gary Payton, Detlef Schrempf, Percy Hawkins, and Vin Baker for first-round picks each. Jerome James with the rebound, and he's fouled, but he's going to go to the line. So yeah, first-round pick for 1999 and a first-round pick for 2000 is what I'm doing. Free throw's been made. And he makes the free throw again. Now it's 22-16. And now here's Jerome James. Oh my goodness, a dunk. Now here's Jamie Watson. Right to Joe Stevens with a three-pointer. And Rodman gets the rebound. He is fouled, and he will go to the line. Good way to draw the foul. But he misses the free throw. You got Shammond Williams sitting there. He is definitely waiting to get on, as he would like to see if he can get the Sonics back into this game. And the foul. So 2002 to 2003, huh? Yeah, I figured, because he didn't really start a lot of games. He started only 16 games. It was only 5.4 points per game. And he was a foul-heavy guy. I got to tell you this. He was a bruiser. He had 1.6 blocks per game. So, yeah. Oh, Jerome James. Now here's Watson. I have Jerome James on my team right now. Now here's James, and he makes it finally. Jerome James is actually one of my top players. He's scoring 10 points a game. He gets 2 blocks a game. He's one of the leaders in the NBA in blocks this season. And I got Dennis Rodman as just signing as a joke. And that is a 2-pointer. I needed some butts in the seats since I don't have Gary Payton anymore. Here's Rodman. He's fouled, and he makes it. And he will go to the line. Yeah, he could block his butt off. Yeah, he really could. He was a good shot blocker. I think he was actually one of the few decent centers in Sonics history, aside from Jack Sikma. That's all you can name, right? Maybe Irvin Johnson, if you remember him from 1996. Here's Tyrone Nesby. Now here's Hudson. And Rodman gets a rebound. Now here's Jerome James. He is fouled, and he makes it. He makes a ridiculous shot, and he will go to the line. Yeah, Jerome James was one of the few servable centers that I could remember. Man, it was like after Jack Sikma, it was like Michael Cage, who wasn't really that much of a center, in my opinion. And now only seconds left. And now here is Watson. He's going for it all. Oh, he almost made it. And that's going to do it for the quarter. Yeah, it was Michael Cage. And then it was like Bill Cartwright for like a split second. Robert Swift. It was all about Robert Swift. Man, that guy was actually talented. It's just he couldn't stay healthy. I don't know if he had a good work ethic, but he had the talent. He did showcase his potential back in the 2005-2006 season. Don't forget Johan Petro, which I didn't really like that much, to be honest with you. And oh, no steal. No, but after Michael Cage, it was like Bill Cartwright. Man, I gotta look up all these Sonics teams. You guys are having me look up old Sonics teams, man. Nice job. Now here's Richardson. And at some point in 94, 95, they had Sam Perkins as their center. Yeah, that did not work. Now McCoy with the rebound. And now here's Williams. Goes for the three. Woo! He makes it. And now the Sonics are back within one. Sonics were 63-19 in that season. Now here's Hudson. And he makes a nice little swish. You got Shammond Williams. Now Sean Resprit. Now here's Williams for three. Oh, he makes it again. He is on fire. When the Sonics hit their three-pointers, the other team is in absolute trouble. The crowd is actually, well, not going nuts at all. And nice block by the Sonics. All right, here's where it was. Their center was kind of Sam Perkins and kind of Michael Cage. And then 94-95 was Sam Perkins, Bill Cartwright, Irvin Johnson. Yeah, great. 95-96 was mostly Irvin Johnson, which I think he was a bit serviceable as a center. Couldn't have been any worse than what they got after that. Johnson blocks 1.6 blocks a game, but he fouled pretty heavy, just like Sean Kemp did too. And after that, it was Jim McIlvaine. Frank Burkowski. And there's nice block by McCoy. Jelani McCoy, he was also a Sonic too. Steve Scheffler. I actually do have a show with Steve Scheffler on my YouTube channel. Oh, Jim McIlvaine. They call that the original sin on how the Sonics would leave eventually. Now here is McCoy. He is fouled. He will go to the line. Man, you guys have me all distracted talking about all these centers. No, yeah, so 95-96 was Irvin Johnson. Then Frank Burkowski in the finals. Then 96-97, Jim McIlvaine for 2 seasons. Gave him $7 million a year. Angered Sean Kemp because, unfortunately, let's just say he had a lot of expenses. That's all I'm going to say is he just had a lot of expenses. I have to be a little PC about it. Now here is Williams for 3. Again! Shammond Williams from downtown. And the fans are kind of up there on their feet. They're going crazy. You can kind of feel that Key Arena atmosphere. And now here's Tracy Murray. He is blocked by Young. Now here's Douglas. And now Piakowski for 3. No, and Young with the rebound. Now here is Sean Resprit for 3. Oh! The Sonics take the lead on a 3-pointer by Sean Resprit, and the fans are just going absolutely nuts. They are going absolutely loud and wild. Now here's Tracy Murray. He's blocked by Young again. And could they do this again? And now here it is. Here is Jelani McCoy. He is fouled. Oh, and he will go to the line. And this crowd was about to explode. And he makes the free throw. Then after Jim McIlvaine, Who was their center? I think it was like Olden Polynice in 1999. Because it wasn't Jim McIlvaine because they traded him away and a layup done by the Clippers. 98, 99 was when they went 25 and 25. They did not have a good season. Now here is Williams for 3. Not this time. All right, let me see who their center was. Their center was mostly Olden Polynice. That was their starting center. And he was not a good defensive player either. And 2000 was Horace Grant, who the Sonics traded Corey Maggette, their first round pick, away to get Horace Grant. And then 2000 and 2001. Does anyone want to guess who that center was? I'll give you guys maybe a couple after the Sonics possession. I'll give you until that to guess who was the center for the 2000-2001 season. It was not Vladimir Stefania, but maybe he started a game or two. I'll give you until the Sonics complete this possession, whether they score or not. And now here is Westbrook going for a 2-pointer. Okay, so it was Patrick Ewing. When they gave up quite a bit just to get him, they had to give up Horace Grant in that trade because they thought Patrick Ewing, a 40-year-old Patrick Ewing, was going to bring them to the 4th or 5th seed, basically. And Olowokandi makes it. And then 2000, 2001, 2002 was supposed to be Calvin Booth, Probniak. That was pretty much of 2003. 2003 and 4 was like Calvin Booth, Vitaly Potapenko, and the foul by Eric Piakowski. And they're going to have to bring their starters back. And 4 and 5 was Jerome James, and then after that was Johan Petro, then Robert Swift, and 2006 and 7 was still Johan Petro. I think Sayer Sane was still part of that thing. A block by McCoy. And now here is Young, and they miss it. And now they're going to foul and bring their starters back on. Yeah, 2000 Patrick Ewing. Yep. I mean, he was not a bad center. Like, his numbers did not say he was bad. He just wasn't what the Sonics were looking for. They were still looking for more of that 2000 Patrick Ewing. Nope, didn't happen. Now here's Douglas. Now here's Tracy Murray. And he is fouled. And makes the free throw. 42-38. Now here's Watson. And he makes a nice move to the rim. As he went to the bench right after that season, didn't he? And started doing some coaching. So, yeah, he came off the bench with the Orlando Magic, the Grant Hill, Tracy McGrady, Orlando Magic. He mostly played off the bench. They brought back – Orlando also brought back Horace Grant. So, yeah, they had a very old front court, to say the least. And blocked by the Sonics on that one. Here comes Joe Stevens to Watson. Now, Stevens takes the long three. He makes it. He's now 3 of 8 from downtown. The fans are up on their feet again. He was like an assistant coach for the Houston Rockets under Jeff Van Gundy. And then after that, he went to the Orlando Magic to help coach Dwight Howard. Actually, no, they didn't. Patrick Ewing was actually with 2001 and 2 with Horace Grant. Then Patrick Ewing retired, and then they brought in Sean Kemp. And I did see some of his highlights. The talent was still, believe it or not, he still had the skills. It's just that he got fat. Wasn't he coaching when we drafted Kevin Durant? I think he was drafted. He was coaching with the Orlando Magic as like an assistant coach behind Stan Van Gundy. Now here's Stevens for 3 again. He makes it. But I'll look it up for you. Patrick Ewing coaching years.
Patrick Ewing coached from 2002 to 2023. He spent 15 seasons as an NBA assistant coach, then became the head coach at Georgetown.
Yeah, those words bore me. Here's Jerome James. No! They're going to turn the ball over again. Now here comes Smith. Oh, blocked by Watson. And now it's recovered by James. And now here's Watson. Oh, the dunk and the foul. He will go to the line for the possible 3-point play. That was an absolute poster. But he misses the free throw. But that was just absolutely amazing. Cheryl Ford? Who the heck is Cheryl Ford? What season did he play for? Now here is Jerome. No, it's going to be a steal. By the way, guys, if you can do me a favor and go on my YouTube channel, Rooftop Sports, to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Getting close to 3,000 subscribers. And yes, I did get permission from the other admins, of course. They would have told me not. If they didn't want me to do it, they would have told me. And out of bounds, Clipper ball. Oh, yeah, the centers. I'm still not done yet. And then 2007-8 was mostly Johan Petro. Nick Collison was even a center at some point for the Sonics. Now here's Watson. Any other Sonics stuff that you would like to talk about? And Lewis makes the shot. But yeah, isn't that funny how so much Sonics nostalgia? Hey, go ahead and name me some random Sonics players, and I'll try my best to explain any of them. Now here's Tracy Murray. And it's only seconds left. Now here's Rashard Lewis for 3. Nope. And that is going to do it for the half. It's now 50-47. It was mostly carried by the bench and their 3-pointers. Eric Snow was the backup to Gary Payton. It was like mostly Vincent Askew. But Eric Snow was kind of that project kind of guy. And then he got shipped off or whatever to, let's see what was really his fate. All I know is he was dealt to, let me see what they did. Doesn't really say what they did with Eric Snow, to be honest. In 97, 98. What did they do with Eric Snow? They fired George Karl. So January 18th, 1998, they traded Eric Snow to the 76ers for a second-round pick. Yes, he played with AI. That's what I was going to say. And he was actually the starting point guard, and Allen Iverson was the shooting guard, especially for the 2001 NBA Finals. And then let's just say you don't want to see pictures of him after his playing career. Just don't look it up. But I'll just say, yeah, as Rashard Lewis hits from 3-pointer, and the Clippers are trying to make some kind of a comeback, which they should, but they can't. And Piakowski for 3. Rodman with the rebound. And then Lewis again for 3. And he misses it. Maurice Taylor with the rebound. And Tracy Murray with the dunk. All right, any more Sonics players that you want to name? Having a lot of fun with this, more than the game itself. Plus, too late Eric Snow became Eric Blizzard. I'll just say the way he looks, he probably did eat a little bit too much Blizzards from Dairy Queen. He let himself go, unfortunately. It's really sad. Now here's Watson to Jerome James. And Watson goes for the 3. And nope, not getting the rebound. And Tracy Murray again. And the Sonics are starting to slack off a little bit. Ford drafted in 95. See how SuperSonics. Are you talking about Cheryl Ford? I never heard of him. Here's Stevens for 3. Tony and Walt, who are your favorite Sonics players back in the day? Mine was Desmond Mason. Now here's Tracy Murray, and he makes the shot. But come on, let's keep asking. I want to see more random Sonics names. And here's Rashard Lewis. He is fouled, and he will go to the line to complete a 3-point play. And he does. It's now 59-55. Now here's Piakowski and Maurice Taylor with the easy layup. Peyton for sure. Kendall Gill was cool. And then he was traded for Hersey Hawkins. I heard he didn't exactly get along with somebody, I guess. Here's Rodman. Nope. Gary Payton had that cool alley-oop when he did the alley-oop from his knees and the foul. Tracy Murray is on fire, and the Clippers now take the lead. Cheryl Ford, huh? Wonder why I didn't get so much playing time, though. Now here's Jerome James. He is fouled, and he's going to go to the line. Jerome James he has out 8 points. And he misses the free throw. And misses again. Now here's Taylor, blocked by Watson. And now Jerome James gets that rebound. Now here's Stevens for 3. Here's James with the rebound. And he gets it in, and he's going to have 10 points. Dale Ellis, yeah, he played in 2 different times with Seattle. 1980s as the big 3 with Tom Chambers and Xavier McDaniel, scoring 20 points or better per game. But they couldn't really get to that next level. But they did make it to the Western Conference Finals. And now here's Lewis. Nope. And then Dale Ellis was with the team in the late 90s to be the shooting guard off the bench. He also competed in the 3-point shooting contest back in 1998. Anyone else? Yeah, Dale Ellis was cool. Now here is Watson. Here's Stevens for 3. In and out. Now they're going to have to bring their bench players out. Now here is Piakowski. He makes it. I know, but that's what I'm here for, right? Here to talk about some Sonics basketball. Here's Jerome James. He misses. But yeah, I missed them too. Now here's a jump shot. Now here's Thomas. Here's Piakowski. And he is fouled, and Rodman's now in foul trouble. He's on his 4th personal foul. How's he actually doing? Rodman has 6 rebounds. I know. Hey, keep giving me players. Random obscure players is what I want. Or else I'm going to start naming it myself. Remember Mikel? Does anyone remember Mikel Jelleball? Man, during that time when Mikel Jelleball's on the team, that's when you felt that the Sonics were going to leave Seattle. I know. But yeah, Jelleball. was Dana Barrows. I didn't remember him much. He was more of a guy from the 80s, but all I know is I think he was like a backup or maybe a starting point guard at the time, along with Nate McMillan, who was also a point guard when he played with the big three, Xavier McDaniels, Tom Chambers. Here's Young for a three. He makes it. Didn't really get much memories out of, I mean, he was a guy from the 80s. I was born in 92. So my first memories with the Sonics really was the Vin Baker Sonics with Gary Payton. But I didn't remember Sean Kemp at all, unfortunately. Here's Resprit for three. Here's Bennett with the rebound. Doesn't make it. I really wish I went to some Sonics games back then in the 90s. I feel so missed out. They said it was one of the hottest tickets in town. A ticket to Key Arena was tough to get, they said. They said it was tough to get a ticket to Key Arena. Unless you knew someone that would hook you up with tickets. I've actually talked to Steve Scheffler before too. Williams for the three. And he makes it. Oh, you saw them in the Tacoma Dome. Marcelonis of Lithuania was on the team. He was a good shooter off the bench. Here's Wright. He makes the shot. What was it like watching a Tacoma Dome game? Was it worth it? Yeah, 94, 95. Was the Tacoma Dome actually a good experience? I heard there was a little bit of a controversy as Shammond Williams hits the three-pointer. I heard that it was like a mixed review. Like it was great for the Tacoma locals, but it was not great for infrastructure. Was terrible. And the infrastructure in Tacoma is still not great. I heard there's still roads that are still not complete to this day. Correct me if I'm wrong. And that's goaltending by McCoy. It was loud. The arena sucks, but the atmosphere was lit. Yup, that sounds about right. Too bad I wasn't old enough. I was literally 3 when they were in the Tacoma Dome. See, I missed everything. Oh, Resprit for 3, and he ties the game. And the fans are going crazy for one last shot. Now here's Tracy Murray, and he makes it at nearly the buzzer. And that's going to do it. Now the game is at a 2-point lead. All right. You miss Kemp dunking on Lister and pointing. Yep. I actually have a t-shirt about that. Give me just a moment. I have to pause the game. I don't remember who sold me this shirt, but I did buy this shirt before. Yep. Sean Kemp and Alton Lister. By the way, fun fact about that. Did you know? And I'll put this on my big camera right now. Did you guys know that Alton Lister was part of the trade with the Golden State Warriors? Alton Lister was actually on the Sonics, which, by the way, I added Alton Lister on my 2K team. He was traded to Golden State for a first-round pick, and that first-round pick happened to become the second overall pick. And guess who the Sonics used with that number 2 overall pick? I will give you a few moments to guess who that number 2 pick was all about because it was a trade through Golden State. Gary Payton, yeah, it was through that Alton Lister trade. And then Sean Kemp was like, ha ha ha, we traded you to get Gary Payton. Yeah, Gary Payton of Oregon State. Now here's Watson. Oh, nice moves. Watson now has 8 points. Rodman's stuck at 2 points. I think I'm going to put in McCoy right now because he's a little bit less foul prone. Now here is Tracy Murray with the dunk. There comes Jamie Watson. Here's Lewis going for a shot. He misses it. Here comes Richardson. And a steal by Rashard Lewis. Where is this going to go? Now here is Stevens. And he makes it while he falls down. Stevens now has 17 points. He's been scoring a lot more since he has been a starter. And now here's Douglas. And he makes it. And now it's a steal by Richardson. And he misses it. Yep, Rashard Lewis was a second-round steal. One of the biggest steals in NBA history. Here's Jerome James, and he makes it. Ties the game. Rashard Lewis of the 1998 NBA draft. They met, and now here's Watson with the steal, and he's going to go for the dunk. James now has 12 points. And the Sonics now take a 2-point lead. Now here's Richardson to Douglas. Goes for the three-pointer. Oh, he makes a cold-blooded three-pointer. Now here's Dennis Rodman. Tries to post up. And he misses. It is now 85-84 Seattle or Clippers. Now here's Tracy Murray, and he has really been carrying the Clippers with 27 points. Now here comes Watson, and he might be wide open. Yep, and he goes for the layup. Now he has 12 points. Now here's Taylor. And he misses. Now here comes Joe Stevens. With the... Oh, he missed the dunk. I'm trying to think of another second-round pick that was a massive steal for the Sonics. I don't really know. I don't think I really have one. Now here's Watson. Goes for another dunk. And the Sonics now take the lead 88-87. Here's Rodman. Now here's Thomas. He makes it. Here's Jerome James. And he makes the lay-in. Nice post moves by Jerome James. He has cooled off a little bit since the middle part of February. But at one point, he had about 4 straight games scoring 20 points or better. Rodman gets his 7th rebound. Here comes Jerome James. He's going to try to go in all the way. And he gets absolutely just smothered and blocked. Now here comes Tracy Murray. And here comes Watson. And he is fouled. And Rodman is now in deep foul trouble. They got to get him out of there. And it was goaltending. And I think they're going to call a timeout. Because they got to get... Man. All I know is it's going to be Shammond Williams think Stevens needs a little bit of a breather. Gonna put in Greg Foster. Now here is Shammond Williams. Lewis with a 3-pointer. And here's McCoy. He gets absolutely just blocked. And where's the defense? Tracy Murray now gives them a 4-point lead. They're now 13 of 22. Now here's, oh no, it's a steal. And now McCoy with the steal. And now here is Sean Resprit. Goes for the spot up 3-pointer and he makes it. He has now 11 points. He's been scoring a lot more efficiently ever since the Sonics traded away Ruben Patterson, giving him some more open looks. Now it's just a 1-point game. And now here is Piakowski. He misses the shot. Now here's Williams. Now here is Resprit for 3. He misses it. I actually can one up on that on a trade that was even worse. And Olowokandi makes a shot. How about this? The Sonics traded away Kevin Durant, Serge Ibaka, Russell Westbrook, Nick Collison away to the Oklahoma City Thunder for cash considerations of $45 million to break the Sonics Key Arena lease. That's the worst trade in Sonics history. It's now 98-93. Now here's Greg Foster. He tries to go for the lay. Oh, he makes it in. And now timeout's been called by the Clippers. I know, man. But I mean, here's the reason why they traded away Scottie Pippen. You already had Xavier McDaniel. You already had Tom Chambers. You had Dale Ellis. Where was the room at the time? They needed a center. So they should have drafted Horace Grant if you think about it. But Scottie Pippen was also a pretty high touted, You didn't buy the latest 2K because it had an okay seed. Yeah, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. I know. I hear you, man. But here's my twisted thinking. So you know that the Sonics have Seattle and Oklahoma are now at shared history. Yeah, shared history. And now here's Rashard Lewis for 3. And now they take the 3-point lead. And the fans are going absolutely crazy again. Oh, and Tracy Murray gets the dunk. I'll tell you what my twisted thinking is after this game. I got to focus on finishing it. Now here's Greg Foster. He makes another layup. He has been somewhat of a factor. I think they're just going to keep him in. Here's Douglas. And Maurice Taylor gets it in. Oh, and they throw it away. Now it's Sonics or Clippers ball. I think they're going to bring in some. They're going to leave Williams there. Stevens. Going to have Rodman for one more time. Uh-oh. Going to call another timeout. All right, here's where we're at. Got to set some screens. You don't really want to rush for a 3-pointer. Now here's Dennis Rodman. No, he loses the ball. He lost the ball, and now it's going to be foul, and here we go. This ain't good. And now you got to foul again and again and again. Here's Douglas. He makes the free throw. And now here's Jerome, Tony Douglas, whoever. And he makes the other free throw. And I wonder if they're going to try to tie this game. Uh-oh, now here is Sean Respert to Shamon Williams for the tie. And the Sonics are going to overtime. I cannot believe that Shamon Williams did that again. Now we go to overtime. Oh boy. Now here's Olowokandi, and he makes the shot. Can't believe that happened. And now here's Dennis Rodman. Nope, he cannot make it. So what I'm saying is, because we are at shared history with Oklahoma, because they always say stuff like, Kevin Durant did this for the first time since 1970 something, 1990 something, and a three-pointer by Sean Respert. And because they can legally claim our championship trophy of 1979, I have an idea with this whole shared history thing. Why don't we claim Oklahoma's championship? I mean, it's legal, right? We can claim their trophy and say, yeah, it was also done in Seattle. And now a three-pointer by Stevens? Nope. But the thing is, the one thing that Sonics fans and Oklahoma fans agree with is they both don't like the shared history. They want their own legacy, while the Sonics fans want their own legacy. Now here's Jerome James, and he was open for the dunk. I think they're going to bring in Watson for... No, they're going to keep Williams in because he's hot. And he makes it over Rodman. Rodman can't really play that aggressively, but they're going to take a chance with him. Now here's Sean Respert. Here's Williams for three. Nope. And James with the rebound. And he fails. How many points does he have? He has 16 points. Now here's Douglas. Goes for the three-pointer. Uh-oh. Yeah, we all do. We all absolutely do. They do deserve it. Now, do you think Ray Allen should have his number retired too? Now, here's Respert for three. And he's keeping the Sonics alive. He has 20 points. But I hope we get this whole expansion thing going. I don't know. Is now 119. 114. And now here's Jerome James. Nope. Now here's Tracy Murray. And nope. And Jerome James commits the foul. That's actually his first foul of the entire game. They're still keeping their shooters in there. Watson is on the bench. Now here's James. This Joe Stevens. And now here's Respert for three. And he has now 23 points, 7 3-pointers. Tony, you're entitled to act however you want to act. If you want to be positive about it, be positive. If you want to be negative about it, I'm not bothered by it either. I totally get it. I mean, look at me. I've been part of this whole Bring Back Our Sonics movement since 2012. And I saw everything. Rejected arena deals and Jerome James with the dunk. Failed relocations. I saw the whole 9 yards as a Sonics fan. It was not fun. There were times where I'll admit it, I kind of checked out from the whole cause itself because literally nothing was happening from 2018 all the way up until like maybe 24 when you saw something and Sonics get the ball back and now they have a chance to tie this game. Now here comes Shammond Williams. What is he going to do? And oh no, they lost the ball. And that could be it. And free throws. And he makes it. Now I think you can't really take the first available shot. I think you just got to go for blood. Here's Resprit for 3. And I think that's going to probably do it. Yeah, the Sonics are not even going to try. And now, yep, Dennis Rodman is now out. Yeah, this is definitely the most traction we've had since 2013. I can tell you that. Now we got Sean Resprit. Now here is Williams. And he makes a 3-pointer, so there's still a little bit of a sliver of chance. Sean Resprit commits the foul. And it's going to be a free throw. And that's what this channel is going to be about and this Facebook page. I'm going to be doing stuff like this so we can personally interact with all of you. If you want to talk about anything of this whole Sonic situation, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to hear anybody. And now here's Williams going for the 3. And that's going to do it. As the Los Angeles Clippers gets over the Seattle SuperSonics 127-122. And this game was mostly contributed by, it wasn't Tracy Murray. It was Lamond Murray. Well, what a game he had. Sean Resprit was the best scorer. Actually, Shammond Williams was 8 of 12 from 3-pointer. And Sean Resprit with 7 3-pointers. Jerome James went 18 points, 10 rebounds. But Sean Resprit's been playing very well lately. He's definitely looking for a new contract. Sean Resprit was actually an NBA player too. He was drafted, I think, by the Milwaukee Bucks in 1995. He really had a difficult career, and most of it was attributed by he had cancer throughout his NBA career, which is why it was ended real shortly. So he didn't really get much of a real opportunity to really showcase his talents. He was known to be a long 3-point shooter. He was a very skilled 3-point shooter. Now I think he coaches a basketball team. Let me see what he actually does. Sean Resprit. It looks like he's a basketball coach. Looks like he was a former. He actually coached as an assistant from 2013 to 2016. And what does he do now? Doesn't really say much what he does. But I think that's going to do it. I got to really get going. I got to eventually get some sleep. Got to edit some videos. But I just want to say thank you. And this is actually a really good showing. Not saying I got like 6 figures out of it or anything, but it was nice to see Tony. Not only did I see Tony, but I also got to see definitely a lot of Tony and Walt Frazier. I thank both of you for being on this show. We definitely need more of you guys. Yep, absolutely bring back the Sonics. And as usual, we're always going to be updating about any news that are coming up. Bring back our Sonics is the place to be. And everyone have a good night. And I will also be updating about when the next show is going to be. If you like this show, hit the like button, hit subscribe, notification, especially on my YouTube channel. Or if you just want to stay on Bring Back Our Sonics, yeah, it's up to you too. All right, everyone. Have a good night. I got to get